Hey guys, welcome back to the video. Today we're just gonna do a quick tutorial on how to set up your wheels. First, let me turn on my thing here. Let's just get a nice base going here. Wheels. All right, let's start with 4x4. For example, we're gonna use 5x5 wheels. So we're actually gonna want to turn this off now. First things first. I'm hitting U, by the way. This is how it was. I hit U and it did that. You're gonna want to make sure all your wheels are facing the same direction, like they're rolling in the same direction. That's not it. Hold up. The best way to do this is turning on your rotation labels, J and K. I haven't hit K yet. That's not very useful though. What's the other one? U and O. O is what I needed. That's the one I can find. Alright, let's see. U, maybe? Hold up. It's in here somewhere, you just have to keep playing with it until you eventually figure it out. Okay, there we go, I got it. So as you can see, the wheels are rotating forward. This shows them rotating backwards. This one's rotating backwards. And to turn this on, by the way, it's direction arrows. Very useful to have on when using wheels. Okay, now we get to use we hit K twice, then we hit U. And we're going to actually want these ones to be facing that way. If we can find, give me a second guys, I'm figuring it out here. That's rotating inward, that's rotating inward. Okay, so this is rotating the same way. And I guess since we're all the wheels are doing the same exact thing, we might as well put it that way. And then you'd only want to hook steering to these two. If you hook steering to these back two, you're going to probably want to invert it, or you're going to invert the wheel so that they're turning the opposite of the front wheels. Sorry about that, I accidentally muted my mic because I have a button on my mic that does that. Now if we have 8 wheels, you just do this. You just put them exactly the same as before. Make sure they're all facing the same way and everything. And then once again, you just set steering to the front ones or the back ones, depending on which ones you want to set steering to. And if it's steering the wrong way, you just come in here and you put in logic, and you get a, actually don't put in logic, just put in invert, which brings up your numerical inverter, and you just plot that on here. And you take your steering from your seat, you plop it into this, and you plop this into the back wheels if those are inverted. Or if the front wheels are inverted, you plug that into those ones. Now here's the hard part that gets everyone here. Now we're going to show you how to do this with the 5x5 suspension wheels. Now these ones, it doesn't matter what you do for turning. They're all going to be the same. You just have to make sure that they're rotating in the same direction. Otherwise you're going to have wheels driving the opposite direction, and that's not what you want. So for example, you got this set up. This is pretty much, it's all the same no matter how many wheels you have, but the person who asked me to do this actually has 8 wheels on their vehicle, and they wanted to see how to do this with 8 wheels, and I'm assuming you're having problems with this one. With these wheels, because these ones are always harder to deal with. Oh, come on. What? Why is my mic acting weird? Sorry about that, guys. I can hear myself when I talk, and I heard myself cut out there for a second a few times. That's my bad. I'm accidentally pressing I'm not even pressing it. I think I pressed the cord on accident. They didn't like that. Anyway, so let's see. Who's facing what direction? These ones are turning outward like this. These ones are turning outward like this. So what you're going to do is you are going to want to, I'm going to say plug them into these ones that are facing outwards that way, because I'm pretty sure the plus arrow is actually right. So I think you want the plus arrow facing this way. So I'm going to connect them to these ones. That was steering, yep. And I might as well add a seat. Why not? I don't know. It doesn't matter what seat we use. Yes, A and D. And we're actually going to test these out. And then just plug the rest of the steering into that. I'm pretty confident that the plus side is supposed to go to the right, but I could be wrong, so that's why I'm testing it. Okay, I was right. The plus side goes to the right. So you're going to want to invert the left side wheels to face your... So the way I place them, the wheels plus sign is facing this way. So I had to... Oh, wait. I was looking at the wrong ones. My bad. So the thing was facing this way. It was going out this way, which you don't want. Because if it's going out this way and you just plug in the turning into these, the wheels are going to be turning away from each other. And then, so if you plug into this and then you plug into these ones are going to be turning the exact same way as these ones. But you have to make sure that they're not inverting your controls. If they're inverting your controls, then just unplug this from that and plug them into here. Just make sure that this plus arrow is facing this way for either one. Whatever wheel has the plus arrow facing to the right side of the vehicle, that's the one you're gonna not want to invert. The one that has the arrows, the plus arrows facing to the left of the vehicle, those are the ones you want to invert. Like, see, if I invert these ones, for example, these back ones are the same as the front line ones because I placed them the exact same way. So if I come in here and I go into third person and I start turning, you can see that those back ones turn like that. Now, yes, if you're turning the back wheels, yes, you want it to do that. But if you don't want the back wheels to turn, then you don't want it to do that. Like, basically, imagine if those back wheels were the front wheels. You won't be able to turn. You'd just be going straight with a lot more friction, which is not what you want. So, if you wanted it to be that, if you wanted it to turn, like, right now this doesn't work for turning, but, so imagine these back wheels are these front wheels. This is the proper way to invert them. Basically, for the front wheels, invert them on this side if this is the inverted side, or invert this side. So, here, let me show you one more time, guys. I forgot this is in Blender. My bad. So, wheels are facing that way, as you can see. They're rotating this way. These ones are rotating this way. We don't want that. We want both front wheels to rotate this way. We want them to go to the right. So, because these ones are already turning to the right, you invert these ones. For example, if these were the other way around, let me delete these so I can actually show you what that would look like. Pull up the wheels. I use 5x5 suspension right there. Oh boy. Why does my mic gotta be so touchy? I hardly tapped in, it just stopped working. That was annoying. Anyways. Actually, this is the only way to place them. So, yeah, just always invert the left side front wheels. And invert the right side back wheels if you want to have rear wheel turning too, or forklift turning as most people would call it. Yeah, that's it. Just plug your A and D or whatever you want to use for turning into your inverter. Plug your inverter into your right side if you're using suspension wheels. And that's about it. However, I will say, because some people are just too lazy to even care about dealing with what way the wheels are working, some people just plug it in like this. Let me just show you real quick. Forward, 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 forward. If you're doing this, then it's the same thing. If you just plugged it in that way, you're going to want to plug your inverter here. The only reason you have to do that with suspension is because you literally can't put the suspension in any other way for this side. You can't turn it upside down because then your suspension spring is getting in the way. You can't turn it sideways because that doesn't really turn it properly. It just kind of does the DeLorean thing where the wheels kind of just go away. So if you're using normal wheels, you do have the option to actually set them up properly, but if you don't and you just plop them on there, just do the same thing you do for those. I'm going to quickly test. If we plop these ones here, same outcome? Okay, yeah. Pretty much always, if you just place it like that, if you keep mirror mode on when you place your wheels on, pretty much always invert the left side wheels so that they are turning properly with those wheels. Remember, the plus side always is supposed to be the right turning for the bottom ones, and for the top, like the ones on the side of the wheel, those ones show which way the wheel is going. So it's pretty much all you have to know. It's that simple. I'll see you guys in the next one like always. Peace.